Today, we're going to ask ourselves the question, which is the better one to purchase? Is it the 911 Carrera S or is it the 911 Carrera GTS? This seems like an odd question. Surely the GTS is a better vehicle, more horsepower, etc. But I'm going to be looking at it from a price perspective with regards to specification. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a car reviewer. So this is not about which car drives better, is mechanically better. This video is about the price differential between the two when they are configured exactly the same way. Let's get started and let's see if we can make some sense of this. We'll start by building ourselves that 911 Carrera S. We're going to add my usual standard equipment to the vehicles, and then we'll do a comparison to the GTS and see what happens. I'm going to build myself a shade green 911. It's an unusual color, but I think it is so beautiful. We'll add the Carrera S wheels, except as usual, we're going to high gloss black them so they look absolutely incredible. One of my favorite wheels on the 911. Look at that. We're going to put ourselves a heritage design interior in today. It's going to leather up a few options and take a few things away, and we are going to end up with something quite spectacular. Let's add in those back seats as we always do. Make something a little bit more exciting for us here. There we go. Exterior package. We want to put our high gloss black in, but we want to put it in with the aero kit. There we go. Yes, now we are starting to look like a serious piece of machinery. Let's get some high gloss mirrors in there in the exterior color with the base selection and high gloss. It's going to look even better. And we're going to pull through the high gloss black surrounds on the windows. Put the black door handles in as usual. Get some definition on the side of the vehicle. That. Perfect. Roof and transport. Let's put our sunroof in. Pull the black from the front through to the rear of the vehicle. Letters and decals. Let's have a look here. We're going to stick with the silver on this particular version. It'll change to black with the GTS. And jump down to our lights and vision. We want to put in our HD matrix lights, of course, pulling through the chrome, but more importantly, giving us far more practical lights to use. All right, let's add some stitching. We'll pull through some white stitching, crayon stitching through over here, and take a look and see if this doesn't make things just a little bit prettier throughout the vehicle. Yes, it does. Just pulling through just a little bit of contrast through that black interior with some white stitching. Let's leather up our dashboard and trim package over here. Sports chrono, add in, leather in. There we go. Leather over there. Leather on the door handles. You can see how the stitching is pulled through so beautifully. Seat belts, we're not going to have to add any, although we might actually on this occasion want to add some white seat belts. With the white stitching, we can really accentuate that white stitching by pulling through some white seat belts like this. Porsche crests already come. We're going to add our consoles in leather around the base of the vehicle, pulling through the chalk on that. Maybe, we might pull through. Oh, let's take a look. Yes, it's a bit of a decorative inlay. I'm not certain. Let's take a look. We're going to come through here and we're going to add. Oh, it's actually just beautiful. I love it. I think it's funky. I think it's crazy. Who would put green in their black and white interior? Only me. Because look at that and look at how it pulls through from the exterior. Of course, you could add anything. We could add the leather in at the back here, which would make it much more simple. It would just be a black leather with the white stitching pulling through. But you know what? On this occasion, I'm going to add that. I think it looks fabulous in the steering wheel. Let's get ourselves the heated GT steering wheel over there in leather. Should be absolutely fine. Just a bit thicker than the sports steering wheel, just a little bit more plush. It's great for the interior. We're going to add our leather casing around the plastic parts of that steering wheel. Hate the plastics, you know I am. We're going to get in the leather gear knob over here. We're going all out because we want to compare it to the GTS. Let's see if we can leather up the slats. Yes, we can. Right, we'll put the leather to get rid of the plastic in the front here. We'll put our leather sun visors in as usual. We'll put our Racetech sealing in because the GTS comes standard with the Racetech sealings. And so we need to add it to our Carrera S to match it up nicely. We'll put our leather on our review mirror. Aluminium pedals as always. Let's leather up our fuse boxes as well. We don't want any plastics anywhere. We've got a relatively black and chromed exterior. Yes, we do. So we want to add in our inner dorsal guards, decorative stitching. Let's go to the powertrain, put our rear axle steering in, which probably comes standard on the GTS. Have a look at that. And we've got our front lift system in. Naturally, on all 911s, you really do need to do that. We've got our chromed bits over here, and like I always do, we change the calipers to black. We want the black pulling through, not that red that doesn't even match through the vehicle. Okay, let's put our assistance systems in. We want the surround parking. We do want Porsche entry or comfort access. It depends on the model you're looking at. And we want to prepare for the Porsche dash cam. Infotainment, the Bose system is good enough on this particular occasion. All right, so that's a quick spec on a 911 Carrera S that we've done there. Have a look at that. Looking absolutely beautiful. I'll go full screen for you for a minute. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. So we've got this beautiful vehicle. What's our final costing on this with its heritage design interior? Let's close that up. We're looking at 4.695 million. That is 4.695 million. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change models. Change model, and we're going to jump down here to the 911 Carrera GTS. We're going to configure it, but we're going to transfer the configuration across, and we're going to see what the price difference is. Shade green, yes, look how it changes color when you don't have the white background. Very important you always use the white background. Right. Now you've got the Carrera GTS 4710. That's only 40,000 Rand more. Hang on a second. This vehicle's like 3 or 4 rungs up, and it's only 40,000 Rand more. It's got the same spec. Look, it's the same spec, same interior, white seat belts, green at the back. We've got the same mags. We've got the aero kit. We've got the high gloss black everything. It's got the tinted headlights now. 40,000 bucks more. Let's check those headlights quickly. Lights and vision. We will put in the tinted matrix just to make it fair. We've bumped up about 100,000 Rand more. 100,000 Rand more, ladies and gentlemen. This is an important question for you to be asking. You are dropping 4.7 million Rand on either a 911 Carrera S or a 911 Carrera GTS. You have to ask yourself the question, is it worth the extra 100,000 Rand? In my mind, it is. It actually makes little sense to go for the Carrera S. If we look at the specifications on these vehicles, we go back out and we change the model again. Let's look at your Carrera S, running 480 horsepower, 3.5 seconds 0 to 100. On your GTS, you've just cut half a second off. You're running 540 horsepower. It's 100,000 Rand in a 4.7 million Rand car. These two vehicles here make little sense. It is why they always say the GTS is the sweet spot in the range. 100,000 Rand more, and you've got yourself 100 more horsepower, half a second quicker, and all the best technologies. The GTSs generally drag a lot of the turbo technologies into them. So be careful when you're configuring your Porsches. Make sure you know what you're buying. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is again why I'm here. I constantly say in all my videos that the task that I have is to help you in specifying your Porsche. I've done this for more than a decade now. I know the little things, like the fact that the S and the GTS are basically the same price, but the GTS really comes with a lot more with regards to the 911. And so, again, before you buy a Porsche and make a multi-million Rand mistake, jump onto my website, www.myperfectcar.co.za, and book an appointment with me. We'll get it right first time.